This bag is a couple 100 pounds. We got our little MoneyBerg logos on it. I think a leg kick got a little power in it. Probably don't feel good.
Oh, that's a nice bag. So here you have your body composition machine, I take it?
That's why it stays so beautiful.
Okay.
I think it's a great luxury that you control the temperature, no music, nobody's in there. You know, you don't got to smell somebody's fart. You ain't got to smell some dude with bad body odor.
And then you got your MMA, your combat room, and then you have your room where you're physically just getting it stronger. Yeah.
Well guys, it looks like we are back once again with another one of these course selling gurus. And we don't have one of our typical online usual goobers that we cover, but instead we have a man today who appears to be truly one of a kind. Because not only does he claim to be a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt that he apparently just obtained in record time, and not only does he sell courses that in my personal opinion just seem very suspect, but he even has a name that appears to completely throw up some wild red flags. Because the guy we are talking about today actually fucking goes by the name of Derek MoneyBerg. And no, I am not joking. The man had the audacity to go ahead and put MoneyBerg in his brand name on just some straight up cartoon character type shit.
Dinkelberg.
And it looks like good old MoneyBerg here appears to be a mix of what you get when you have a wannabe alpha male and just a financial guru, where he leans way more to the financial side of things and basically runs a variety of different courses throughout the year. And while doing this, it seems that he likes to use a lot of the typical selling tactics that all of these online gurus will use, where he is pushing this high demand program that for some reason just has a very limited amount of positions. So you need to go ahead and sign up right fucking now.
Watch this video all the way through, and that tells me you're dedicated to learning more and earning far above average outcomes in your life. Congratulations for that. But now it's time to take action. If you could have earned those results by yourself, you would have done it already. My head coach has opened up a few spots on his high demand calendar for an in-person one-on-one strategy session to help you. On this call, we'll give you the pragmatic advice that you can implement tonight to get laser focused on the right metrics and leave mediocrity far behind in your past. Click that link right now in the description below and apply for your call immediately. Do it now.
Yesterday, you said tomorrow, so just do it!
And along with this very typical tactic that pretty much all of these online guys use, MoneyBerg here also has something that completely sets him apart and has a very unusual and unique tactic that he deploys that I don't think we've seen yet, which is to just basically bring on UFC and MMA fighters to help him promote the living shit out of these courses in whatever program that he currently has going on. And we're not just talking about one or two fighters here. This man has done it with as many fighters as humanly possible, and it almost always involves a segment like this one right here.
I'm here live reporting from the MoneyBerg Garage with the hero, Gilbert Burns. Gilbert is 3-time world champion and 7-time national champion of Brazil. If you'd like to have more success and live your life on an even higher level, I want you to join us on a live training on July 16th. That's a Wednesday. Wednesday, July 16th at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. We're going to walk you through the 10 Commandments of Wealth. We're going to do a live Q&A afterwards. It's going to help you develop any plan, any strategy specifically for you to help you have more success and more winning in your lifetime. Gilbert, what do you think they should do?
They're gonna click on the link, get here, learn all the 10 things that they gotta do, be successful, make extra money, travel wherever you wanna travel, take care of your family, and do whatever you want.
Click that link right now.
So as you can tell, it just really doesn't feel like the most authentic thing. And at the time of this video, the main thing that good old MoneyBerg here is selling is the program that he calls the 10 Commandments of Wealth. And I gotta say that the advertisement photo and the name that he's got going on here is about as good as that goofy ass logo that he makes everyone wear that comes on his show. And this 10 Commandments thing is something that he has just been pushing heavy as shit, and something that I can only guess guess hasn't been doing too great, since you can now get it on sale for $97 instead of its original price, which was $1,000. And he has really used a variety of different fighters to go ahead and push this, but there has been one fighter in particular that has been a lot more involved than a lot of the rest, and that would be a man who goes by Henry Cejudo, who not only came on film and decided to give this same little pitch that basically all of them do.
Henry and I on April 9th, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, we're going to go through my program, The 10 Commandments of Wealth. Click that link, join us live. What do you think they should do, Henry?
No, that's right. No, you guys sign up. You guys join us live, a live training from Derek MoneyBerg. He's been a mentor of mine. He could be a mentor of you too. So you guys remember, April 9th, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. We'll see you there.
But Henry here also did a couple of videos where he went on a house tour with good old MoneyBerg, where it just had some of the goofiest and most awkward moments possible, and really made me feel like that this man was only there because he was getting paid to be there, which is the feeling that I of course get with most of these different fighters that are randomly appearing on this same guy's show.
Another painting of myself, because I like those sort of things.
Oh yeah, that one's nice. That one's slick.
This bag is a couple 100 pounds. We got a little MoneyBerg logos on it. I think a leg kick got a little power in it. Probably don't feel good.
Oh, that's a nice bag. So here you have your body composition machine, I take it?
That's why I stay so beautiful.
Okay.
I think it's a great luxury that you control the temperature, no music, nobody's in there. You don't got to smell somebody's fart. You ain't got to smell some dude with bad body odor.
And then you got your MMA, your combat room, and then you have your room where you're physically just getting it stronger. Yeah.
And like I mentioned earlier, the very awkward moments just seemed to be a reoccurring thing when I was watching all of his different videos, where quite a few times the guys who are sitting there just look like they're being held hostage, and sometimes I don't even see an introduction first before he just starts spewing out his different course information and going on tangents about how you shouldn't sign up with him if you don't want to make $1 million. And it just leads to some goofy moments like this one right here.
So the people come to me, they say they want to be a millionaire. I tell them, don't come. If you don't want to make at least $1 million, don't train any of my. It's not for people that want to make $50 today, for their crack addiction. That's not my target market. It's for people that are, I hope want to have a lot of wealth and significant freedom in their life. So I say, at a minimum, you should have a goal to make at least $1 million if you're going to be here. So a person who wants to make another $1 million or their first $1 million, if they don't have the time to think through in some detail how they might go about that, if they don't have enough patience to write, eight pages here and there, 15 pages about a topic, do you imagine they're going to get a lot of millions of dollars if you can't do a little writing assignment or a little thinking assignment?
It's gonna be tough.
And this is all goofy enough on its own, right? And maybe the fighters really did just want to be there because they actually believe in Derek, and maybe it's not about money. But it starts to become a lot harder to believe after MoneyBerg's most recent little stunt and his most recent claims that appeared to piss off a variety of different fighters, along with pretty much the entire fighting community, because he made the wild statement that he not only achieved his black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, but he also did it in only 3.5 years, which if you're not familiar with how that works when it comes to, gaining your belt, he would basically be putting himself up there with people like BJ Penn, who obtained his in around 3 years, and would basically be putting himself up there in the top 10 to 20. And I want you to keep in mind that this is pretty much a 40-year-old obese man who looks like fucking Ben Franklin out here making these absurd claims right now when it takes most people on average around 8 to 12 years, and the IBJJF even has a minimum of 5.5 years required. So it is really looking like that the man is just flat out lying. And I can only assume that this is just some next level rage bait, especially when you look at how this motherfucker had the audacity to go ahead and tie the belt. You don't even have to watch fighting at all to know that this right here is just not how it's done. And he has just been getting straight up ratioed on his very own post in the comment section, where he had people calling him out nonstop. And he of course just had to respond to every single one of these comments that somewhat annoyed him. And it was of course the most douchey responses that he could possibly conjure up, like this one right here, where the commenter calls him out for having an ego problem since he's out here making making these insane statements. And MoneyBerg, of course, had to go ahead and claim that the commenter had the ego problem and asked if he should reduce his net worth by 99.9% so it makes him feel less uncomfortable. And it seemed like that these were the only responses that he could come up with, because anytime that anyone had anything to say about his belt, he of course just took it right back to the finances. And he even had the different fighters who apparently promoted it out here defending him on Instagram as well, and had them saying shit like they don't know about what other people are talking about with that insane belt tying skill. And it even got so bad that we had people like Sean Strickland out here making statements saying at least everyone in the picture ended up getting paid. And right when you think that it couldn't possibly get any more goofy, this complete goober right here then continued the pure rage bait and posted a little video responding to the haters that don't believe him and think that he just bought the belt off of Amazon.
There's a couple butthurt black belts out there right now, and there's a lot of butthurt white belts and blue belts. You can't do that in 3.5 years. No, dummy, you can't. You couldn't do that in 3.5 years. You're too stupid to do that in 3.5 years. I was not. I followed my own advice that I'm sharing right now. I had the best coaching team in the world. Yes. I built my own facilities. I showed up every day and worked my ass off. And I did that in 3.5 years. You might be too dumb. You might be too lazy. But don't let your low-level efforts and low-level intellect reflect to say that I can't do that in 3.5 years. I just did. Actually, I did it sooner than that. Jake held my belt for 4 more months because he thought it was ridiculous to promote me that fast. So he held my belt for 4 months. So I really did it in 3.25 years. 3.25 years, not 3 years and 7 months. But officially, 3 years and 7 months.
So of course this doofus just had to go ahead and double down and say that it was really 3.25 years. And we have just hit some next level goofiness at this damn point. And with the full on goofiness of the black belt set aside, it appears that good old Derek MoneyBerg has also been dealing with some issues when it comes to his courses. And according to a YouTuber called Spencer Cornelia, MoneyBerg has also attempted to go ahead and hit him with a slap lawsuit in the past couple of years due to him reporting on MoneyBerg's courses having some very scammy-like elements. And Spencer not only claims that MoneyBerg lost the lawsuit, but also went ahead and stated that MoneyBerg tried to claim that Spencer caused him to overeat. So even when this guy is suing someone, it seems that he can't help but to be a complete and utter fucking goober.
We did win the case, but MoneyBerg decided to appeal because his intentions aren't to win this case, it's to burden me with excessive legal fees. That's been his strategy the entire time. Here's the order of the judge granting the motion for summary judgment. Derek made 4 claims in the lawsuit, and the judge ruled in our favor on all 4 claims: the Lanham Act, which is unfair competition, defamation, business disparagement, and emotional distress. He said he suffered from overeating because of my videos on him. This information included a video from a former employee of plaintiffs who corroborated claims about plaintiffs' unethical business practices, and they're using young, unqualified people to write the instructional and promotional material for plaintiffs' courses. Thankfully, it's now on public record that even the judge knows MoneyBerg hires unqualified people to create his $5,000 courses. This was a slap suit brought by a multimillionaire who got that way by scamming people out of their money, as defendants reported on. To keep his scam afloat, he sought to stifle anyone who tries to criticize him with what is colloquially referred to as lawfare or a slap suit. To Bushkovsky, a few $100,000 thrown at an underfunded defendant, me, is just the cost of keeping the scam going. As the motion explains, Bushkovsky made frivolous objections during his deposition that required a second deposition, lied about his place of residence, resisted attempts to take follow-up discovery, and resisted consolidation when it was obviously appropriate. Slap lawsuits like this one work because the wealthy criminal is able to scare off anyone looking to properly criticize them because the legal costs are too burdensome.
And I obviously don't know for 100% certainty if MoneyBerg's courses are legit or not, but I can say there are elements that definitely look suspect. And in Spencer's video, he brought up the fact that MoneyBerg also basically forces buyers of his little marketing course to go ahead and give him a review around week 3 in order to continue the course. And if they don't do so, then they could lose out on $5,000 and only get about a quarter of the product that they paid for. And Spencer provided this video right here to show proof of that.
Attention. So, new assignment. I want video reviews for how you're doing in the course so far. And I want to know what's going well in the course. Here's my deal. When I ask people to do this, is I want them submitted by Sunday before you go to sleep. You're not going to be in next week's call if they're not submitted. If you don't have the time to submit them, that's fine. I'm excited for you to not be here next week. For those of you that didn't get your video in on time, get it in this week, or you're not going to be in the program after this week. Not this week, today. Get it in today, before you go to sleep, or you're not going to be in the program any longer.
And this made me curious, so I went ahead and pulled up one of the links to one of the marketing websites so I could take a look at it for myself. And I did notice a trend for his little marketing strategies website that the 4 user reviews I saw on it all happened to be at around week 3, or as one of them claimed, in the middle of the course. So I don't know how legit the video was that I just showed, but in my personal opinion, I do have to say it seemed pretty damn real.
Hello guys, my name is Ruby and we are now 3 out of 10 weeks into the MoneyBerg Markets Mastery Program.
So for the past 3 weeks, I've been on the Derek MoneyBerg Markets Masteries course.
Hello, this is Imran Khan and this is my testimonial for MoneyBerg's Market Mastery. We are 3/10 of the way through.
Hi, my name is Edwin. I'm an entrepreneur from El Salvador. I'm enrolled in the MoneyBerg Markets Mastery Program. We're about halfway through.
So yeah, it's pretty interesting and some sketchy tactics to use for your financial courses if they are true. And overall, the man just appears to truly be one of a kind when it just comes to these online gurus. And maybe his courses are legit and he's just a complete goober who's trying to look like a badass at every turn he can. But I know one thing's for sure. It is just really entertaining to watch the complete shit show. But with that said, I think I've had enough for one day. So if you enjoyed, please drop the sub and the like, and I'm out. Watching Derek MoneyBerg continue to embarrass himself. In peace.
In your training, in your jiu-jitsu training, because I know you started that very young, you said 12 years old. If you would have had access to facilities that I have and the coaches that I have,
Less than 3 years and a half, I'll get my black belt.
wouldn't you?
1,000%.